this house. There's some hoes in 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 this house.
Certified free, 7 days a week. That wet ass pussy good. My pull-out game weak. Ooh, yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass. Swimming in the bed.
Yo, Bells.
What's up?
Hey, Bello.
This is a quick one this week.
Right?
Yo, Bello.
Right.
What happened?
What do you mean?
What I miss?
Is to get your punk ass down the road.
I was
Oh,
saying
wait.
right, right. I should have just hit him with it, right? And
It would be awesome if you signed out right after that and that was it.
That's it.
peace.
Out.
Peace.
What I was gonna do is
Hit Genuine. We're out of here, folks.
I'll do the show. Peace.
there's not a lot of people that can relate, to, and I gotta go the whole week just fearing for myself, in this land of the not sexy, and nobody really understands my sexiness. They don't understand how sexy of a man I am, how attractive I am and all this other stuff, and it's good to be able to get together with fellow very, very attractive people and talk professional wrestling. And that's why I was like, Striz gets introduced last because he's the main event. So I got to talk to Bells. I'm like, yo, Bells, what's going on? How you doing? How was life? How did it treat you? How did you navigate through these waters of unsexy bullshit? Day after day after day after day. How do you keep that optimum level of human being going? I got to ask you that, because there's not a lot of people, and in reality, it's only us. But there are other people that hang out, around, the orbit of what it is to be the 1111 boys. What is going on? How are you doing? Everybody out in 1111 land, what's going on? It is the Andrew Bello, the doctor of Thundernomics. Ladies and gentlemen, tell these people what's up.
Yo, people, what's up? I see JVD in the chat already. What's up, JVD?
That's right.
And not too much. I mean, on my end, I got a new car. I think we've been going through this journey over the last couple of weeks here. But yeah, I've got my new car. The kiddo's got my old car. She hasn't wrecked it yet. Lord willing, that stays that way. Although I had her driving me around today as for our weekly dinner. It's nice to be chauffeured about in my car. It's kind of nice, actually. I was like, other than the fact that I kind of was fearing for my life the whole time, it was good. But I mean, frankly, I tell her, I was like, I'm nervous when you're driving, not only because you're driving and it's a car I own, but because I'm pretty much nervous when anyone but me is driving. Like, the one exception to that is my dad, who's like an even better driver than I am as far as I'm concerned. So
as hard as it is to believe that, it's a thing, obviously. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, so I'm just generally speaking not comfortable in the passenger seat. I like to have both hands on the wheel, or one hand on the wheel as it typically is. But yeah, that's just I don't know, maybe it's a general control problem I have, but nevertheless, it really shines in that moment. But yeah, no, everything has gone well. My new car's pretty sweet, enjoying that, and haven't wrecked it either. So yeah, going good so far.
Well, let's hope. Let's hope.
Most of my last month to actually really year of my life has been gearing up to that last week with the whole exchange of cars. So yeah, I'm kind of like, I don't have a purpose right now other than to sit here and talk about a fucking professional wrestling with you schmucks.
Well, good for you. I mean, you know how many people want to sit in that chair and talk professional wrestling with Striz and myself? Lots of people. Lots of people.
With Striz, definitely. Yeah.
You introduce the man.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our main event of the evening.
Mm-hmm.
He comes to us from the land of the Sun Devil by way of the Denver airport. He stands at 6 feet, 6.6 inches tall, weighing in at an unbelievably svelte 666 pounds. All biceps.
Damn.
Indeed. He is the master of the massive memories, the connoisseur of the colossal kajungas, and the hunger of huge hooters. Yes, that's still Triple H. He's sexy. He's stranglery. Strangler. Steve. Boom.
Boom. Thanks, Bells. That was a good one. I'm glad you're back to doing the proper introduction. That's all I can
Next
say.
one. That makes one. of us, yeah.
Oh, that hurts my fucking feelings, man.
I do it for you. No,
Well, I'm gonna just come right out here. I'm coming in hot today to say Bella's not the safest driver. I remember when he took me to breakfast when we were going into Manhattan. He's insisted on driving. Now that he's because he didn't trust me to drive.
although I'm the one that driving either. Yeah, that's right.
and I remember this motherfucker driving like 70 down the fucking 35-mile-an-hour suburban.
Oh yeah, no. Speed limits are optional.
And I believe you were packing a bowl with one hand while you were driving, sir. So I don't know what you're talking about. Safe driver. I don't know.
I didn't say safe driver. I mean, I'm other than the random deer that decided to jump in front of me the other week, I haven't had an accident in longer than I can even remember at this point. But and even then, in that case, I still broke and did all I could and had minimal damage on my car. And the
Did you kill the deer?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, it hobbled up. It looked back at me and was like, "What
you
the
hit
fuck?"
it with the new
I'm
car?
Looking at it like, "What do you mean? What the fuck?" Like you just literally just came darting out of the fucking woods.
You hit it with the new car?
Sorry, man, dear.
This is Auntie.
Did you hit it with the new car? Striz wants to.
No. This was like a couple weeks ago with the old car. So just as I was like getting ready to like get all the final repairs done, I cracked my grill. Luckily, it's a fucking piece of plastic and it like popped right back into place. So that was nice. Otherwise, it was going to be another $600 on top of the round I dropped on fixing the car. Yeah. It is what it is.
Striz, how you doing, bro?
Yeah, hey man, I'm doing good. It's only Tuesday, but it's already been a long week. I only have 2 days of work this week, and I'm already exhausted. I've only had one of them so far, and I'm dealing with some well, I wouldn't say bullshit, but I'm getting a small renovation done in the kitchen soon, and it's coming really close. I'm getting the countertops done and the sink replaced, and same in my little half bath downstairs here. And they called to do all the final stuff with me this week, and they forgot about the half bath apparently. So now they're trying to scramble to figure out what's going on with that, even though I've already paid for the thing. Now they have to figure out, okay, why didn't we have that in the work order? So I'm dealing with that kind of crap. So yeah, it's been, this is like one of the things I have like severe PTSD getting house things done, which is why I will always procrastinate and just hold off as absolutely long as possible between anything I have to do, because every single time I try to get something like this done, it always has these ridiculous obstacles and hurdles. And, oh, well, I didn't talk to this guy, and this guy didn't communicate right. And I'm doing everything through Home Depot for this particular job. And I figured I'll spend the money and I'll have them do it because they're pros. They've been around forever. They do this stuff all the time. And here we are. People aren't talking to each other. And there's 3 different people. There's Home Depot. There's the plumber who has to take, re-hook up the sink and then put the new disposable in, put the new dishwasher in. So they all have to be here at the same time. And then there's like the people who are doing the countertop stuff. So there's Home Depot, the countertop people, and the plumber. And now like they can't all get their shit together. So it's like, this is why I have always held off until I absolutely have to get something done to get it done, and I get proven right every time.
No, it sounds like you're going to be proven right again, or you were proven right already.
Yeah, it's just a pain in the ass, man.
Sounds like a real pain in the ass. Of course, I don't have to deal with that sort of shit. I have people that take care of that shit for me. I don't even pay for it. Somebody just goes into my bank account, and it's the way it works. Regardless of that, I need to talk about Charlotte Flair. and Tiffany Stratton. See, I know for a fact that the WLR universe, they want to know about these things. They've been craving these things. They've been thirsting and searching through the interwebs for some proper commentary on TMZ style WWE news. And they don't get it, right? They get all these Mark Tards and Clark Bar eating sons of bitches talking about a bunch of nonsense, right? Well, we are about to rectify that here today. It's been a long time since we've done something like this. We used to give the people, per the people, by the way, we used to give the people John Cena and Nikki Bella updates every week religiously. And they used to love it, right? Well, that stopped. John Cena, went a different route. So we couldn't do that anymore. But here we go. We have something finally TMZ worthy to give you. First off, right, we want to talk about, if I can find the footage, the WWE has taken it down. But I'm sure I'll find it somewhere. I know I have it somewhere. So, but I'm sure you guys know, but I'll give you guys a quick recap just in case you don't, meaning the people. I know both of you guys know, but they were cutting a promo in ring about WrestleMania, and they're gonna fight each other, and somebody's gonna win a title and all this bullshit. And then Charlotte goes, Tiffany was insulting her, and Charlotte came back with some real cringe shit. And then Tiffany goes, well, that's why you're a failure at life, and you're lonely again. That's how you're going to end up after WrestleMania, without anybody, without a man, because you divorced Andrade. And now you're 0-3 in marriages, and you suck at life. And dropped the mic, gave her a woo, and ran out of the ring. And then Charlotte Flair was like, well, that's why Kaiser's in my DMs, which no one believed, not even a little bit. And Kaiser still felt the need to come out and say something about it. If he stayed shut, it would have been just fine. We understand, Kaiser, that you are not in Charlotte Flair's DMs. We understand that you have tons of German women to choose from, and you and what's his name, and Gunther, and the entire barrage. You guys have a stable in the back. You don't need to be messing with Charlotte Flair. I get it. Totally understand. Regardless of that, given the current climate and what wrestling is, I started thinking whether it was a work or not, even though it did not seem like one. And I really don't think Charlotte Flair has the acting chops to pull something like that off. It seemed very genuine. And she ran after her and immediately came up with the your man is in my DMs stab, which nobody was going to believe, and it was cringe as fuck. Charlotte Flair is very, very, very cringe, and I think it's hurt. Damn, that promo did so much to hurt Charlotte Flair, in my opinion. Not that there wasn't baggage before this, but good Lord. Anyway, cringe as fuck. Tiffy Time, who I'm not a major fan of, looked great in this. She actually looked physically great also. And I'm not a fan of her in that fashion either. All right. Let's discuss amongst ourselves. I'm feeling verklempt. Striz got that. Only a few select people would get that. So
You got to be over 40 to get that one.
you have to be, right? I think you have to be. Or at least 38. How old are you? How old are you, Bello? Do you call
38, but yeah, whoosh. So yeah, you got me on that one.
Hell. All right.
I'm a baby.
Go ahead, Bells. Let the people know. Give them your expert analysis, your next level TMZ gumshoe analysis of the whole deal. You know what's going on. You've been following this. You've been tracking it the entire time. You've been sending us all the news. You got the inside, the outside scoops on all of this. What's going on?
That's right. Well, I've got Tiffy Time in my DMs, so
right.
I got the inside scoop on this one. But yeah, no, she was letting me know that this is most definitely a fucking work. This whole thing is a work. Obviously, it's a work. If it's not a work, it's a shoot. Where Charlotte just like outright like lied about like something that was just really stupid. Like, what I feel like in order for it have to be a shoot, it would have to be true, right? Like, so like that. Even if she goes quote unquote off script, but just made up another lie that fits within some loosely based narrative around what's going on here, even though literally no one knows that Kaiser and fucking Tiffy are together in like real life. Like I didn't even know that. I just kind of assumed based on the context. So yeah, and absolutely, Kaiser is not in Shar Shar's DMs. That's Rick Vickery with a fake account. And
deep
but
cut,
nice try, Rick. But yeah, no, we've got yeah, I can't even imagine that any of that could be true. And like I said, if it's not true, it can't really be a shoot, right? Like I think that's where I'm drawing the line on all this. I was listening to Striz and Hameen talk about this on the Monday Locker Room a little bit, and like I do think the fact that they yanked it off the internet is kind of part of the work. Like I think that they're like, this is not too hot for television. This isn't a nip slip or a fucking, like somebody dropped the fucking N-bomb or something like that. Like this is not something that they should be like removing from television. Or who was it making racist jokes about somebody's language or whatever it was a couple of weeks ago that they ended up having to yank off a Raw. It's not to that level. I don't think that they're going to remove this footage from their YouTube page to protect the kayfabe of Tiffy and Kaiser's real life relationship. Like, I don't think that's a thing at all. I don't think Charlotte was being truthful, and it's just, it's kind of a silly thought. And like, even if Kaiser was in her DMs, let's face it, like no one wants to be with Charlotte Flair for Charlotte Flair. They want to be with Charlotte Flair so that they can be like loosely related to Rick in some way.
I mean, I'd be insulted if she said, why is BRV in my DMs? I'd be like, whoa, slow down. Let's slow down right there. That I have an image to uphold. A-Wax Jackson, what's up? Mystery level, what is it? Mystery school level intellect here by A-Wax Jackson. This is expert analysis, next level descriptions. Only a person with beyond 20 vision could see what he sees, sight beyond sight, like the Sword of Omens. Charlotte Flair is built like a crowbar. Very, very nice.
Wait, like a crowbar or like crowbar? Because I actually thought
like crowbar, the wrestler.
I thought it was a crowbar.
I think she's more built like Crowbar the wrestler than an actual crowbar.
Either applies. A-Wax, you got us twice.
Either way,
double singer.
God. He the Striz, he the king.
Yeah, he the king. Well, guys, this is, and I'm reading through the comments. Unfortunately, Betty D, I know you got played, honey. You got played. This was a work shoot and poorly pulled off work shoot. And there's no heat going into this match, and they're trying to get something. Lots of the matches coming into Mania are coming in very, very cold and put together very late. And that's because there's been so much time this year with the late Mania between Royal Rumble and Mania that they're trying to really stretch things out more than they've ever had to do it before. And all the bodies have gone cold, essentially. So what they're trying to do is add a lot of fake heat to this. And this is how they're doing it, is to make the girls seem as catty as possible and to make it seem like, well, they lost their professionalism and, went for the jugular. And it was just very, very poor. And that's what you do when you are doing a work shoot, is you do the camera pullaways and you do the go to blacks and you do the, let's pull it off of YouTube, because they want to make it seem like it's a legitimate thing. But also when you do that, you expose the actual work of the business by saying, well, everything else that we always leave out for every other angle is, in the script and is kosher and ready to go. So feel free to help yourself with all that content. So, people don't go off script in WWE. They don't. And if they did, it's an accident. Like when Adam Pearce said that when he announced Rhea Ripley as part of Judgment Day. That was an accident. And I don't know if anybody caught that, but when he's announcing the three women at the beginning of the hour, just signed the contract for the World Women's Championship, he announces Rhea Ripley as representing Judgment Day. And she hasn't been in Judgment Day for 6 months. So that was an accident.
Catch that. That's great.
And he made a little Facebook video about it this today. It was funny, just being like, yeah, I fucked up. But this is a worked shoot, and it doesn't make me care anything more about the match. I really feel like, and I'm a huge proponent of Charlotte Flair. I know how much value she's brought to the women's division in the last 8 years, and she really has at one point been arguably one of the greatest female workers of all time. unfortunately, in the last 2 years with the injuries and the start and goes and the starting programs and then kind of being off of TV for a while for whatever reasons, her matches were really suffering. She was starting to forget where she was with spots, and it just wasn't as crisp as it used to be. And that happens to everybody. Like there's, everyone has a cold night here and there, but she was systematically, slowly declining as far as the sharpness in the ring and everything that came along with it. As far as the technique in the ring, the personality was still great, the entrance was still great, the gimmick was still great, but in the ring physically, she wasn't keeping up anymore. And that just happens to everybody. And she's approaching 40. She's approaching 10 years of full-time work after major injuries now. So, that's just what happens. Like the new car so becomes like the beater, and unfortunately she's at the stage now where her greatest asset will be helping to make new girls. And I know she knows this at this point. I'm sure it's understood that even if she does get a quick run with the belt, the whole purpose will be to then lift somebody else up. And it's not that Charlotte Flair is going to not get her 16 runs. She'll get her 16th run to match her dad's career, and she'll have all the accolades, and she'll definitely be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and she deserves all that stuff. But she's not the Charlotte Flair that she was like in 2017, and she's definitely aging out quickly. And if you don't see it physically in the ring, I mean, just the amount of surgeries she's had to, adjust her facial features and her body features over the last several years, to me, looks like signs of desperation, trying to hold on a little bit longer, to change up the look, to stay youthful, to compete with these girls who are now 6, 7, 8, 9 years younger than her that are coming up from NXT. And, unfortunately, she has to do that. But if she did, she has such an amazing body of work to lay back on. But unfortunately, that only does get you so far. So, ultimately, I think they'll have a very good match at Mania. But I do think it's Tiffy's time. If I was the one booking the match, I'd have Tiffy go up, because her beating Charlotte on the stage of WrestleMania is, great cachet for her. It's a good feather in Tiffany's cap. And we're using Charlotte to the best of her abilities and helping get the next crop of girls over.
Yeah.
All right.
Totally agree. I feel like there's just like the Charlotte is just a great example of it, but I feel like you almost say like the same for all of the 4 horsewomen or whatever it is. It's like we just got so much of them for so long, like at such a high concentration between Becky and Charlotte and Sasha and Bayley. Like now you look at them and it's like Charlotte comes back and it's like, you almost like roll your eyes. It's like, all right, who gives a fuck? And then like it'll be the exact same when Becky comes back. There'll be a pop, but like who cares? Like, like really, what is she gonna do at this point other than come back and try and put some of these women over? And I almost don't feel like it even is gonna matter because it's so telegraphed. What are you doing over there, Billy Ray? Shh. What are you? What is he doing?
Are you guys ready to hear a real opinion?
Why are you bringing your son in?
Are you guys ready to hear an educated, next level, very sexy, super intelligent opinion about the situation that's going on here? Because all I'm hearing here is that no way this is real, right? You got work, guys. Betty D, you got work. Puppet Master got work, and AWAC Jackson, you got work. Listen, I'm here to tell you something completely different, Betty B. I'm here to tell you something completely different, Puppet Master, master of reality. You know exactly what went down. And this, ladies and gentlemen, was no work shoot. This, ladies and gentlemen, was no work, period. This was real. This was as real as it's going to get, as authentic as you can possibly see on a WWE television. All right. And let me explain to you why. Okay. Charlotte Flair was so rattled. She had no idea what the hell was going on in the ring. It was like she's never been in the ring before. It was incredible. She's like, what's going on here? Where am I? These people are booing me. Oh my God. And then she went on some freaking show. I don't know whose show it was. I guess
Sherry.
On Sherry's show. Who's Sherry?
Who's Sherry? She's like an Academy Award-winning actress.
Okay. Academy Award-winning actress Sherry, she went on her show, and she was like, I got divorced. She started crying, and that was real. That wasn't a shoot. That wasn't a work.
No crocodile tears there.
I got divorced too. I mean, I don't understand why Andrade, besides, Bello was like, the only reason any of this would happen, towards Charlotte Flair is because, unless you're RBV, is because you want to get down with the Flair family, right? So I was like, Andrade, what are you doing? What are you doing? But he did it, and it is what it is, but now they got divorced. And apparently she's been married 2 times prior to that. I didn't know that. And she, that didn't work out either. And that was very real. It was a very real moment. And Tiffy time. Oh my God. Like, I mean, what the hell? You saw that footage and you decided, how do I capitalize on this? How do I make myself yet another star, a bigger star? By tearing down somebody, kicking them while they're already down. Very nice, Tiffy time. Very nice. Very moral of you.
That's the thing that's the most perplexing about this whole angle, and really the entire Tiffy run here is for some reason they looked at this girl and they were like, babyface. I don't fucking get it. This is amazing, and frankly, it's worked way better than it has any right to. So hats off to them for getting this even remotely over. But Jesus Christ, this girl's a fucking heel. She's a fucking heel, and she should be just running her mouth and fucking doing this to all the baby faces on the roster. Why is she trying to do this shit to Charlotte? I look, if she goes over and she gets the rub, all right, this all kind of works out at the end of the day. But this bitch is a heel. What are we doing? Cody, her, what the fuck is going on right now?
All right, are you done? So I can finish my point. After
my fit is over.
I was on a roll. I was laying out this whole case. Now I've lost my point, and quite frankly, I don't even want to go back to it. Here's the deal. Good. Right? She got in that ring and she told her, she was like, you're bad at wrestling and you're bad at marriage, and you're gonna end up alone and you're gonna end up without a title at WrestleMania. And then what made it even more authentic to me was Charlotte Flair's reaction. She's like, huh? That's why Kaiser's in my DMs. And it was the cringiest line ever. There's been a lot of cringy lines delivered in the WWE.
Hickory in the last Doc.
What is it? What was it that Romans
suffering
succotash, but bag of suffer, whatever the fuck he said. Yeah. That was top. It hasn't been topped. This came close. I cringed when I saw that, and I also cringed when I saw her go, "Oh, you're with the high level voice when she was mocking her." No. She said some shit. I don't know what the fuck it was. Go back and watch it. If I can find it, I'll play it here. Then we'll get banned by WWE for doing it. And the reason why WWE has taken it off is because Triple H is very good friends, loves his mentor, Ric Flair. And Ric Flair was like, you can't air that because my daughter is going through a lot and they went through a divorce. So Triple H was like, you know what? Let me take this down. And that was very poor taste. Now it's gonna be like the Montreal screw job or something, or like the curtain call. Somebody's gonna get punished over this, and it's gonna be Tiffany Stratton. All right.
Yes.
This is
Triple H and all this.
This is exactly what's gonna go down. Okay, this was 100% absolutely genuine, and if it wasn't, please don't ruin it.
You're fucking retarded. And I can't believe how many people in the chat think it's a fucking shoot. It means, to me, I'm shocked that, yes, wrestling is real again, everybody. It's real, brother. It's so real to me, damn it. I realize that nothing you see on TV, wrestling or otherwise, is fucking real. Everything is at work.
I'm your captain now. What's up? What's up, Armand? What's up, everybody in the chat? What's up, HMG? What's up, PW Hustle? What's going on?
So, hey, did you see that your homeboy Craig Horsley's back in the chat?
Who's that?
Why?
Your boy,
who's that?
Craigie H.
Start shit.
Your homeboy.
Who's ringing my phone? Who's ringing my phone?
He's in your DMs, pal.
He's in my DMs. Craigie H is in my DMs.
He's like, can I smoke you some cheese?
Trying to get me some cheese? Craigie H. Hey, Craigie, how's this working out for you, huh? How's everything working out for you? Let's see how those tariffs affect that cheese business, huh?
Hey, fucking the stock
What's
market was
going
up
on,
1,300
Craigie?
points today.
104.
Make it 208.
That's right.
104%.
Make it 416.
I'll go higher. I'll do it. Don't you dare.
How's a preemptive war with Canada working out? You
Yeah.
go back, huh? Yeah, I was told not.
I'm
to
scared of Canada. All 30 million of them.
We shouldn't be. It was that idiot that's making it happen. The big orange one. We shouldn't be afraid of Canada.
There to take Canada.
And now,
you see what happens when you mention Craig Horsley, by the way?
Who's
The show just went off the freaking wheels.
I don't. I'm just saying. I didn't even know he was in the chat, but since he's here, I will take this opportunity to let him know. Be careful what tattoos you got on, because you might end up in CCOT, and you probably don't even know what the fuck that is. You fucking idiot. Anyway.
What the fuck is happening?
Let's get up out of here. Let's. I want to talk about a couple of other things. I don't know if it's a shooting.
That escalated quickly.
Hey,
and then he just tries to slide right back into WLR.
we gotta come back. We gotta bring it back. I don't know if it was a work or a shoot. You know what it is? Straight up though. I am not at all sold that Charlotte Flair can pull off something like that as naturally as she did. That's what's giving me.
That felt natural to you?
Yes, it did. Like it felt like she was pushed.
Poor judge of character.
To a point, and she just jumped. But I wasn't the only one, Striz.
No, everybody else in the chat apparently.
Next level, Babylonian mystery schools in the chat right now. They've been watching WLR for some time. They know what they're talking about. Striz, don't sell them short. Okay. Mm-hmm. So a lot of us saw that and was like, this was real. It might have been real. I'm just saying, Striz. I'll give you the final word on this. Go ahead.
I'm a tetragrammatron, motherfucker. Move on. I told you the answer, and that's the answer. The universe tells you it's a work. Move on.
Here we go. Check this out. Thank you, Billy, the man of reason. Absolutely. And that's Betty B saying.
She's probably in your fucking DMs.
Yes, she is. Absolutely. And I'm answering big, back.
Boobs.
And I'm answering right back. I don't think that's not a DM that I'm willing to pass up. I'm
gonna tell your wife you should check your phone.
She knows the deal. I let her, and she knows what's going on. Is Betty D? She gives her a pass. She says it's fine, no problem. Yeah, I'd bring her right now, but she's watching television right now. She'd say something.
Betty D been sending you pics of those juicy cans.
Hey, I'm a privileged man. I'm a very happy individual. Very, very, very happy dude. All right. So there's that. Okay. And there's also.
By the way, Betty D, follow me on the X at Strangler Steve _ Send me some of those juicy pics.
There's also WrestleMania, of course, and I want to go through the WrestleMania card.
Wait, WrestleMania's coming up?
Yeah, you know?
What?
Nah, it doesn't seem like there's like a big event coming up, and usually WrestleMania is one of those.
Well, they managed to. We touched on this last week just a little bit, but after listening to Striz on the Monday Locker Room, go back and listen to Striz on the Monday Locker Room. It brought it back, and I was listening to it on the way here. Hey, babe. I know you don't want to come on camera, and that's fine. But there's a young lady in the chat, and she wants to slide into my DMs, and Striz is saying that he's going to tell you that she wants to slide into my DMs. And I told Striz and I told Bello, I'm like, my wife doesn't care. She's all good. She knows.
Your wife's gonna cut a bitch.
She knows that the people deserve. Listen, you guys are interrupting me. She knows that the people deserve the nectar that is I. So she allows that to happen from time to time, depending on who the person is. And for Betty D, she would let it happen. Isn't this true, baby?
Sure.
I don't even believe she's standing there.
She's standing. She just said sure.
I don't. Yeah, anybody could have said sure. I have no idea. Okay.
See, she said sure twice, 2 times.
All right, you got that recorded or something? That's cute.
Yeah,
the same word. What
it's like Mick Foley's doing. I quit. I quit. I quit.
Just fantastic.
Just get her on camera. I mean, she doesn't need to show her face. We'll
She
just
doesn't want to come on camera. She doesn't want to come on camera. She doesn't want people to see it. Quite frankly, it's too much. There's too much beauty. And then, people will get, they start really trying to find out where I live and all this other shit. We don't want any of that. So we don't want to do that. All right, let's talk about WrestleMania. Let's talk about it. I want to go through this card. We talked about it last week, and it started with Jey Uso winning the Royal Rumble. That's what started everything going south. But now we really have to start talking about it. And after listening to Striz, it brought it back into my mind. We really have to start talking about The Rock. And I know we touched on it a little bit last week, but Triple H has been doing a really good job at booking stuff, and I know people are still hypercritical of Triple H. And I know Raw is boring week after week after week, but it's still better than what it was, and there's still some excitement or whatever. But this build and these matches are just not interesting. I'm not interested in Jey Uso winning. And am I going to watch? Maybe I'll watch, but I'm not interested in Jey Uso. I am not interested in Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. I don't care. And now I'm even not interested in John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. I don't even want to see that anymore. Wow. It's gotten to that point with this. The women's match is another 4-way match. The IC match, the women's match is a 3-way match, right? It's Io Sky and who else?
Rhea and Bianca.
Right. And then the IC match is another thing. Right,
a fatal 4-way.
Right. Like, guys, what the fuck is this about? I don't know. This was very easy to book. And I know it's difficult to do these things, Striz. I'm not trying to say that it's easy to book a wrestler.
No, I understand what you mean.
Right.
Yeah, it can be very easy, like you said, when you have a flow and you have some natural stuff happening, like the stuff that was happening between Braun Breaker and Penta. I mean, people wanted to see that as a one-on-one match for the IC belt. That would have been a fantastic match to have. And they were building up some heat to throw two people from Judgment Day in there that obviously have heat with each other that will end up effing up and helping one of the maybe Penta win the belt or Braun keeps it or whatever, but the heat will be on Finn and Dominic trying to figure out who's going to pin who, you know what I mean? Rather than the title being the main part of that story. So, but go ahead, keep going with your role that you were on.
No. That was it, brother. Like, I just don't want to see this shit. And how they managed to screw up WrestleMania to this level is beyond me. Like, it's just beyond me. Like, this is easy. It's easy and predictable isn't always bad. Give the people. There were storylines and they were progressing. It's not natural. Yeah, it is fucking natural. They were progressing naturally, but follow them through and give the people what they want. But they finally messed this. I blame The Rock. I have no evidence for this, but I blame The Rock. I don't think it could be Triple H. This has to be The Rock's fault. It has to be The Rock's fault in some way, shape, or form. The Rock did something here. What's up, Els?
No, this is Cody's fault, obviously. But
Maybe.
no, you think it's The Rock's fault now. Wait until he walks out of WrestleMania with the world title. WrestleMania 9 comes again, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson's going to pull his board of whatever the fuck strings, and Cody thinks he's sneaking out of Dodge with this title, and ain't going to happen. So, yeah, it's going to be a total shit show when the WrestleMania ends that way. But I think they just made a lot of really weird decisions around a lot of things that I do think to a certain extent their need to extend Cody's title run for the full year kind of put them in an awkward spot where now he's got to take one of these title spots. And hey, as much as I haven't been a fan of it, he's over enough. He's selling the merch, blah, blah, blah. All the arguments can be made that this has been an objective success as much as it doesn't necessarily feel like one as we're watching it. But then they made the decision to have Jey Uso win the Royal Rumble, and that's where this entire fucking thing fell apart. Is that now you've got a world title match dedicated to a mid-carder, and Gunther was kind of struggling as a heel dominant champion to begin with, and now you're giving him this slop, and he's gonna lose. Spoiler alert, right? There's almost like no way I feel like that Jey Uso could possibly lose.
I think
otherwise you have just totally burned Jey Uso. Like that's the end of him. You got to go back to the Usos, and they're gonna be tagging. and yeah, maybe they can, fucking tag team against Penta and Phoenix when they eventually put them together, and that'll be like their big last marquee match. But I don't foresee a situation where Jey Uso doesn't walk out as the world champion.
Oh, I agree with you. Okay.
Unfortunately, it doesn't really matter, like, because that title doesn't mean shit. And like I said, Gunther hasn't been a great champion, so like, who the fuck is he beating, really? Like, so you got all that going on here. I actually like this whole fatal 4-way thing for a couple of reasons. I like that Balor and Dom Dom is eventually going to like explode, and probably in this match, I think one of them will take the pin, maybe from the other, and it kind of protects both Penta and Braun and gets them out of the mid-card title picture, at least for the foreseeable future. Maybe they break off into their own feud. Maybe they're kind of like a weird, odd bedfellows team for even a little bit here, finding some common ground and getting screwed over by what's left of the Judgment Day at this point. But I'm kind of with Striz, and he was talking about last week. Like, for me, WrestleMania should be mostly 1-on-1 matches or 2-on-2 if it's a tag team or whatever the case may be. I do like mixing that up with like one multi-man crazy ladder clusterfuck match. Like, I loved when they used to do Money in the Bank in the middle of WrestleMania. As old as I may be, I obviously understand why that doesn't happen now. So I like that. I want one clusterfuck, car crash match. That will be that match for one night, and I don't really know where they're going to come up with one for the other night, but maybe it'll be the women's 3-way. But I like having one of those, and I guess if you're going to have 2 nights, you got to have 2 of those. So I'm not necessarily against that match. I think it's a pretty good use of those 4 talents.
Man, let me tell you. Look, I got it up here. There are 9 official matches outside of the 2 main events. And Jey Uso and Gunther isn't a main event. And that's amazing to me. I mean, I know it shouldn't be a main event, but given the circumstances, I was like, all right. But here we have a WrestleMania match for sure. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano. I mean, this is a huge WrestleMania match, right? I mean, everybody wants to see this. Listen, El Grande Americano is coming from the Gulf of America, ladies and gentlemen. That's a hot spot right now. And he's wrestling the Mexican. He's wrestling Rey Mysterio Jr. Everybody wants to see that. It's probably going to be a fantastic match. But, I mean, is it a WrestleMania caliber match? I mean, there's bullshit WrestleMania matches, so I guess, right? Then we got Braun Breaker versus Penta versus Finn Balor versus Dominic. And Bello just went through that. What's up, baby? No?
I forgot about that triple threat
Hold
match
on.
because
Keep
it wasn't
going.
on the screen over here. Yeah, I'm looking at it. I was talking about whether we're going to get that other car crash match. It's definitely going to be that triple threat main event on night 1, which I kind of want to expand on a little bit. That match, we got a little bit of development, I guess, on Raw and SmackDown over the last couple of episodes here. And I said it like maybe last week or even the week before that, like, Paul Heyman is leaving WrestleMania with Seth Rollins, and they couldn't just fucking let it go. They had to like make it perfectly fucking obvious this week, and it just now it's almost disgusting that they couldn't just let it like linger and come as a surprise. And now if it doesn't happen, as far as I'm concerned, like, the finish doesn't make any sense, no matter what angle they go. Like, this has got to be Heyman leaves with Seth, and the other two. Like, the only question then in my mind becomes like, what happens next? Because he's going to need muscle, because now you've got CM Punk and Roman Reigns pissed off at you. All you got is Paul Heyman to protect you. That it doesn't exactly amount to much. So, like, is he going to get some other muscle from somewhere else? Are they going to bring in some other, somebody other, maybe some other main event level talent? Maybe it's like a Drew or something like that. Now you got like Seth and Drew and Heyman up against Punk and Roman, or whatever the case may be, until they decide to eventually break those two off into feuds with potentially heel Cena.
Let me circle back. A good analysis there. I think Dominic Mysterio is going to win the Intercontinental Championship, and that'll be kind of cool. But I don't care about this match. Jade Cargill versus Naomi. It's Jade versus Bianca. That's what everybody wants to see, and I know it's not. They haven't built up to it yet, but what the fuck at this point, right? Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus who knows at this point.
A gauntlet for the tag belts.
We don't even know who's gonna win. LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. That could be a nice match. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. I really don't care. Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair. I'm sure it's going to be a good match. I'm sure we're going to get good matches here, man, but I'm just not attracted. It's not something that is calling my name here to go see this. Gunther versus Jey Uso. We've been over this many times, and it's a slap in the face to Jey Uso that it's not a main event at this point, and if he loses for whatever reason, it's a wrap for I mean, I'm sure they could bring it back. What does it matter? And we got Tiffany and Charlotte Flair in the most authentic and real match that we have out of all of these. Like, for real. Like, I mean, this is going to be like a real grudge match. They're going to slap each other around. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be the real deal. And then we have the two main events that do not include main event Jey Uso.
Yeah, go back and hover over Tiffany Stratton again.
Let's go. Let's see. What do we got here? What are you looking for?
There you go.
Okay, nice. I see what you mean. Sometimes it's okay. Sometimes not so much. I mean, I think I would pass personally.
Everything about this woman as a heel, it is staggering to me that they decided to go this route.
Is that Cody Rhodes?
She should be as a fucking monster heel, like bitch slapping Bailey around. Like this is come on. What are we doing? What are we doing?
And maybe you're right. Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. I don't know. Night 2 main event, the real main event here of the night. Nobody's buying tickets for this shit either.
It's Easter Sunday. It's 420. Kanye will be celebrating Hitler's birthday. There's a lot going on that night.
Good Lord. Holy crap. Okay, and then we have Roman Reigns versus CM Punk with Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins. And it's very possible that Paul Heyman walks out with Seth Rollins. So here's the WrestleMania card. Seems very pedestrian to me. I'm throwing it over to Striz. You did a hell of an analysis on the Monday locker room. But now knowing the card here, this is what we have so far. And so that means we're going to get 5 matches one night, 6 matches the next night, maybe. I mean, that's probably what it's going to be. We don't know what's going to end up, at least not now. Doesn't look very good. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I agree with you that it's probably the most underwhelming WrestleMania card that I've seen since WrestleMania 11. And that was I was there live for that because I was working for the company at the time. And man, oh man, people were just sitting on their hands all night. It was in Hartford Civic Center in Connecticut. And this is it's just, they waited too long in between, like I said, Royal Rumble and Mania, with having it so late this year. It's just hard to keep things hot as it is with all the programming that they do. And then all the angles are underwhelming. I mean, half the card seems like it should be on SmackDown the night before. Like Gable and Mysterio, like I would like to watch that. It sounds like a fun match, but it sounds like the 3-segment, the second half of SmackDown to me. It doesn't sound like a WrestleMania one-on-one. There's hardly any heat there. They just barely had anything to do with each other on Raw the other night during the 6-man tag when Gable puts the gimmick in his mask and headbutts Ray off the apron or whatever. And that's going to cause a WrestleMania match now? Like, what are we doing here? This is so silly. And like, there's been parts of this year that were booked so strong, especially leading into like coming out of SummerSlam and leading towards Survivor Series with like all the bloodline stuff and everything. Everything was so solidified, Everything had this clear lines of who is over, who's not, and who belongs on these big shows and who doesn't. And here we are now at the biggest show of the year, and it seems like they forgot about it somehow. They're like, oh shit, Mania, we gotta fucking put something together. It seemed very slapped together last minute. And when they had a good match with, say, like Rhea, who was world champion at the time, and Bianca, who won the Women's Royal Rumble, and they say, oh, that's a great marquee match. That could definitely close out night 1. Then they have Rhea drop the belt for no fucking reason whatsoever to Io. Now it's going to be Io versus Bianca. Then they obviously are going to work Rhea into it somehow. And have completely fucking schmozzed that up. Like, why would you have her drop the belt so close to Mania? And then like, the same thing happened with the tag belts. Now, like, Street Profits are the tag champs. They beat, I think it was DIY I think it was DIY for the tag belts on SmackDown. And now, like where is that? It just doesn't make any sense. But, like, it's just it really lacks any kind of real spark, you know. And when you say like each night is going to be like 4 hours long, like these
Right.
matches are going to be like there's going to be so much B-roll going into every match is going to have a 20-minute video of how we got here, and you'll be watching that, you know, absolute tripe between Charlotte and Tiffany going, man, I'll be at home saying, thank God I didn't throw away $7,000 going to Mania this year.
Yo, man, and that says a lot. I heard you say that. I mean, I knew you weren't going, but I heard you say it on Monday again, and I was like, man, Striz has gone to every WrestleMania since I've known him. I think
this would have been my wife's. This would have been my wife's 20th WrestleMania.
Yeah, man, we've known each other for a while now, too. Like, and you've been to every WrestleMania, and before that, like, you know, with your wife, it's something you guys do.
Yeah, it's her choice for vacation every year. She picks one place and she wants to go to wherever Mania is, and she's really disappointed because we're not going, you know, because she looks forward to it all year long. We get to go to a new place, to be somewhere maybe we haven't been, and try things that we haven't been, you know, to. And then when the tickets came up and they were that much money, it was like, are you kidding me? This is ridiculous. Like, it just felt like they were taking advantage and just trying to milk who's left of the fans that will go and pop for these tickets. And it's just, there comes a point where you just have to say, listen, I'm not going. This is ridiculous. I'm not gonna spend 6 months paying off a WrestleMania weekend. That's just ridiculous, you know.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it's just for the WrestleMania. They don't account like you go to SmackDown in the Hall of Fame. You go to 2 nights of SmackDown. You do the NXT show, which is on either like Saturday morning at like 9 a.m., like Stand and Deliver or whatever they call it now. You know, all going to the Superstore and dropping a couple $100 there. All the food that you go and eat 3 meals a day out and, you know, at restaurants, and plus all the travel. We would have driven, so we would have saved money on flights this year, but, you know, we still have to pay for gas each way and go, you know, pay to park no matter where the fuck you go in Vegas. And then on top of that, like the time away from work and, you know, the complete inconvenience of it all. But usually it's fun and we look forward to it and have a great time. Even if it's like not the great card, still have fun doing other things while you're in town. You going and seeing places like New Orleans was a blast, you know. And you can have a lot of fun. Like if it's in Florida, you go to Disney or you go to Universal or do tons of different things. But this was like, you know what? I feel like we're really getting fucking steamrolled here. And we kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And we had our hotel room booked a year in advance. As soon as we found out it was Vegas, we booked a room in Vegas that was a 2-minute walk to the venue. So we would have kept our car in our hotel parking lot and walked. It was like a straight shot right to the building. You could see it from our hotel room. And like, this is perfect. This is great because we checked it out when we were out there for the NXT show that was at the UFC arena several months ago. So we're like, oh, this is going to be perfect. We got to the lay of the land, saw the tram runs and everything like that. We're like, okay, great. We're coming up with a game plan. And then it was like, tickets are released. And she looks at them. She goes, this is kind of expensive. And she didn't pay for them. And she wanted to show them to me when she got home from work. And then she got home from work. Those expensive ones were gone. And they'd come back on and double the price of that. So it's like, we're not spending all that money per night. That's absolutely ridiculous. So, like I said, I don't want to spend 6 months paying off a credit card bill to go to an underwhelming WrestleMania card. And when I saw how lame the card was, I'm like, wow, we really made the right choice.
Yeah, man, you guys dodged a bullet for sure, bro. For sure.
But it's still left to, you know, it leaves my wife disappointed because it's a trip that she doesn't get to take, that she looks forward to every single year. I mean, it only comes around once a year. You know, this is like a big thing, you know, and she really has a blast, and she never asks for anything. Never want, you know, whatever it is, you know, she's just never asked for a single thing. And this is the one thing she looks forward to all year. And so when we decided we weren't going, it was really sad, you know. It's like, well, you know, I want to go, but I don't want to spend that much money, and we can watch it on Peacock for $5 a month or whatever the hell we pay for that. And so now we'll just, you know, stay home and watch it all on.
Yeah, man. Watch it at home. Chill out. Fuck it. Save the money. If SummerSlam is a good show, come to SummerSlam.
in Jersey, bro.
Well, I think Survivor Series is going to be in LA.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the one pay-per-view she's never been to. So we might go and check that out back this next November. We'll see where we're at the time.
I went to Survivor Series where CM Punk won the title here at MSG. I was there.
Nice.
It's the only one I remember. I want to. Lord willing, I'll be at SummerSlam Bells. Or we'll be at SummerSlam this summer. It'd be nice, Bells.
Is that MetLife?
Yes, it's at
Me?
MetLife.
You talking to me?
It's at MetLife. But I really want to go to a Rumble at some point. But I'm just saying,
Rumbles are the best, man.
I know,
They're the best.
Yeah, it's got to be awesome.
I was at the Survivor Series where Bret Hart tagged with his brothers and Bret wore a pink singlet.
dope.
That was awesome.
I remember that. Yeah, I
Against,
just saw footage.
Jerry Lawler.
Yeah.
In the King's Court.
Jerry Lawler worked Shawn. It was supposed to be Jerry Lawler with the King's Court, but Jerry was in a lawsuit at the time, and instead of Jerry, Shawn Michaels
took over.
Right.
I remember. I was. It was weird to me
I
because
was with the company at the time, so I knew all about that stuff. That was pretty. That was pretty shitty.
I remember, man. It was a weird thing to see Shawn Michaels take over.
Yeah, he was off TV at the time.
Right.
You know, he's taking time off, and they brought him on just to do that.
And in an Eat My Foot match, I remember Jerry Lawler was so great.
My foot, yeah.
And Bobby Heenan was fantastic. It's just I know this has nothing to do with it. This isn't related, but from Jerry Lawler, it took me to Bobby Heenan, how great they were on commentary. I just think they're just fantastic.
Yeah, they're amazing.
Anyway, that's all we got, ladies and gents. That was an hour of unadulterated, sexiness for that ass. Ladies and gentlemen, the Andrew Bello. Tell these people where they can find you, sir.
They could find me shopping for El Grande Americano masks. Also,
I actually have that mask.
Do you?
I do. It's almost exactly the same. I bought it at Lucha Vavoom. When I went to see Lucha Vavoom, I was in LA and they were selling masks. I bought 3 masks from them, and one of them is a dead ringer for that.
Lucha Vavoom is the shit, man. They're amazing.
Dope. I mean, if anybody that's listening is ever around Lucha Vavoom,
if you like burlesque, it's just
it's incredible, bro.
Yeah,
it was an incredible show. I'll tell you more about that, you guys.
I would love to hear that. Yeah,
right. But I had a blast. Man. It was so much fun. Anyway, go ahead, sir. Finish.
Oh yeah, that's right. You can find me on the X at the Andrew Bello. That's TH to the EAN to the DREWBELLO, and YouTube as well. Go check me out there.
All right. Eater Striz.
Yo,
tell people where they can find you.
You can find me on the X. At Strangler Steve _. And I didn't do any polls this last week, but I'll do some on Friday during SmackDown, and we'll have some fun over there. And I haven't got any new followers that aren't bots in like 5 years. So if you haven't followed me on the X, do an old man a favor and just press the fucking button. What would it kill you?
In the off chance Elon's listening, less crypto bots and more sex bots. All my sex bots disappeared. Now all I got is crypto scams. I'd like to go back to the old world if we could.
I'd second that. I like that idea. Puppet Master, if you're going to SummerSlam, there is a very good chance that I will be there along with 8-Track Brown, unless WWE finds a way to piss me off, which is very possible. So it's 50-50 at this point. But my son wants to go, so if he wants to go, I might take him. I didn't take him to Mania in Philly, which I should have done.
MetLife's a good venue. Lots of great seats there.
Yeah.
It's big, but you get a good shot of the ring.
We're going for the experience of it, not necessarily to watch anything. I'm gonna have to take binoculars to watch this shit from wherever I'll be sitting. But I'll probably buy a belt and sit up there and be happy with it and just sit there. And that'll be my whole deal while my son loses his mind. It'll be fun. But that's it. My name is Billy Ray Valentine. What's going on? Hey, Bells.
No. You will not catch my punk ass from down the road. You can catch my punk ass in MetLife Stadium next month watching Kendrick, though. That's going to be lit.
You bought tickets for Kendrick Lamar, and you didn't buy tickets for SummerSlam?
Correct. Yes, because my priorities are in order.
I am disappointed.
In appropriate order at that.
I'm very disappointed in you, even though I hear Kendrick puts on a good show.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm interested to see what it's gonna be like. I've seen a few of his live shows online or whatever, but big stadium, SZA's opening should be fun.
Dude's buying new cars, going to concerts. I mean, shit.
Yeah.
No,
Bello got it like that.
he's got it together.
That's right.
But I catch
all the
drunk ass
tariffs.
on the road either way.
ain't
Whether
touching
you got a
me yet.
whether you got a new car or not, it doesn't matter. I'll catch your punk ass down the road. I know the your license plate. I know what kind of car you got. So still, bang bang, and that'll be over with. My name is Billy Ray Valentine. I am the king of the North, ladies and gentlemen. Come check me. Come check me at theinfinitefringe.podbeam.com. America Unplugged every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern on Tony Arterburn's X, on Don Jeffries' X, Don Jeffries' YouTube channel, the America Unplugged Rumble channel. There's the America Unplugged podcast, AmericaUnplugged.com, AmericaUnpluggedRadio.com. You can find that all there. And of course, find me Sunday nights, BRV from NYC live, Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern on a Ground Zero Plus, starting April 20th. I've reached out to some people, and we're gonna talk some bullshit. So it'll be fun. Do that, and of course, WLR Tuesday nights, running up to WrestleMania and the day after, and then we're gonna go on vacation. We'll be rising for the entire summer. It's gonna be the summer of Striz, but he will be on. If you want to hear Striz, he's gonna be over on the Friday locker room with Ben Hameen. Maybe not. It all depends on how he's feeling at the time. Nobody tells Striz what to do. You know what I mean? Nobody puts baby in the corner. Striz, tell him what's up, sir.
Like big kitties.
Oh my God! Look at this guy. Hold on for a second. What's this? This is my boy S90. Let me see what's going on. S90. See you Sunday. Yeah, man. You're more than welcome to jump in on Sunday, brother. S90 is next level researcher. What's up, buddy? From Canada. We apologize from the United States.
No, we don't.
For what?
No,
for what
we don't.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
fucking Canuck motherfuckers. You
Frostback.
You maple-headed motherfuckers, we don't care. We don't care. You can just cry and be cold and happy or whatever the fuck it is you guys do up there that isn't hockey. And we don't care. Doesn't
Bunch
matter.
of cabinet makers.
Why the fuck would you go to that island? Why?
that's S90. That's MAGA talking to you, so you know that's what you're gonna get. From
Very
MAGA.
MAGA. Listen, now MAGA's talking to you, S90. We don't give a fuck about Canada. Nobody does. Nobody did until I made them relevant. Now, big ratings, huge.
From the sane people in the United States that don't seek to pursue war with one of our friendliest neighbors and trade partners. I apologize. We apologize from this fucking big orange buffoon who continues to show how stupid he is every single day. But hey, it's gonna keep getting funnier, I guess. Listen, S90, I will see you on Sunday, Lord willing, brother. God bless you. And everybody else, thank you for tuning into WLR. Everybody up in HMG, what's going on? Ben Hameen, I got a bone to pick with you, bro. I got a real big bone to pick with you, man. You and I, we got an issue.
It was nice knowing you, Billy Ray.
We got an issue, Ben Hameen. Ben Hameen needs to join us the last WLR after WrestleMania. He needs to be here with us. I don't care if you're working at the whatever
Ravens joint in East Syracuse, New York.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't care. That's an invitation, Ben. That's please come join us. All right, we're getting up out of here, ladies and gentlemen. See you guys next week, Lord willing. Take it easy now. Bye bye. Boom. We're still on the air.